In Australia, we've got deadly animals aplenty. We've got funnel web spiders who'll murder you and your family. Under every second rock is a redback spider, and they'll kill you just because, I don't know, they're bored or whatever. We've got invisible brown snakes who'll bite you on the foot, and you'll be dead in 7 minutes. Just like that, kaput. We've got the world's deadliest creatures all over the place. We've got magpies who'll steal the eyeballs from your face. But at least we don't have AR-15s. We've got great white sharks who'll ascend from the deep and rip you in half with their razor-sharp teeth. We've got saltwater crocs who'll death roll you to death, and sea snakes who'll gladly snatch your last breath. We've got a blue-ringed octopus, no bigger than this, that just sits around in rock pools waiting to kill kids, and even the platypus, a cute beaver duck thing, has got a spur on its ankle that'll kill you in one sting. But at least we don't have AR-15s, and at least they can't end up in the hands of psychopathic teens. We've got stonefish and stingrays and sea urchins and shit, and hectic fucking homicidal box jellyfish. And these jellyfish, they aren't even sentient beings. They don't even really do stuff or know about things. They just float around on the whim of the currents, being pointless, non-cognitive, murderous cunts. And if that weren't enough in terms of natural hazards, here in Australia, the sun causes cancer. But at least we don't have AR-15s, and at least they can't end up in the hands of suicidal teens. And at least we don't have an NRA who pay millions of dollars every day to find off politicians not to change old laws. We've got bull sharks, cone shells, saltwater crocodiles, honeybees, European wasps and blue-ringed octopies, death adders, blue bottles, redback spiders, tiger sharks, tiger snakes and lizards that'll bite you. We got sea snakes, taipans, cassowaries, copperheads, all the creatures of the land and sky and sea that want you dead. Toadfish, stonefish, irukandji jellyfish, bull ants, centipedes and ticks that cause paralysis. But we don't have AR-15s, and thank fuck they can't end up in the hands of psychopathic suicidal teens. And thank fuck we don't have an NRA who pay millions of dollars every day buying off politicians not to change some law. A law that was written 200 years ago in a time when it took 3 minutes to reload a single round of ammunition. We knew nothing about depression, and you couldn't fire 45 rounds in 60 seconds. There wasn't even such a thing as automatic weapons. There weren't 31 mass shootings monthly.
What would I know from another country? Hello, everybody. It's Casper here from Brisbane. I can't hear myself. I need to adjust things again. Yes, so hello. Welcome to this. I don't know, it's different. I'm on my normal weekend off that I don't do lives. And I've decided that I will just do one on these odd weekends a little bit later than I would normally do them, just to sort of throw in there a different time zone thing. Now, my co-host, right, is normally obviously the lovely Miss Doodle, and she's missing in action. She's obviously fallen asleep, and it's funny. I find it really funny because I think she was like, oh, yeah, we should definitely do that later one. Yes, because the time when you do your normal podcast, Casper, is when, like, it's evening and it's dinner time and people have, with the kids and the family and stuff like that. And I went like, oh, okay, yeah, good point. Because normally, like, Saturday mornings for me is ideal when I'm streaming from home, because I have the house to myself and all the bandwidth to myself, and it's quiet and all that sort of thing, and I can go for 2-3 hours without a great difficulty. And yeah, but this time, as I spoke about last week, I'm at my sister's. I'm calling it the bush retreat, and it's 5 acres here. And I'm using my sister's internet. I'm using my laptop, extra screen. I'm still using the same mic because it's just USB plug and play, which is easy. But yeah, certain things I don't have access to. I had to make sure I had my intro, outro, and all that on my laptop. So yeah, I just come out here on work after Friday, and work half days Friday. So I've been coming out here Friday afternoon, and then I head straight to work on Monday mornings. Now, this weekend for Aussies, it's a long weekend. I believe we're celebrating, well, in Queensland at least, we're celebrating the Queen's birthday on Monday. And that, I believe, is the last public holiday until Christmas time. So I have Monday off as well, but I'll be going back home on Monday because I have some things I need to get done at home. So yeah, I've been doing a few things. I only came out here yesterday. I had Friday off. For me, it's Saturday here. And yesterday I had the Friday off work, and I came out here late morning. And what have I done? Oh, yeah, I've done a heap more washing for my niece who likes to trash her granny flat and didn't bother cleaning up. And I've done some Gurney, I call it Gurney, but it's, you guys might call it like power washing or something like that, with the power water with spray gun. So I've been doing that. And I've washed my niece's car, and I've emptied it last weekend. I'm going to vacuum it maybe this afternoon. I still have to get on to some chainsaw duties a little bit later on over the creek. I want to make it nice so you can go for a nice walk over there, because it is quite nice to walk around. So yeah, I still have a little bit to do. Inside, I'm leaving the inside, obviously, to the mother-in-law and also my mum. She's coming out tomorrow. So anything inside, I'm leaving it to them. I'm just looking after outside, culling down the branches and making the place look a bit nicer. And, I've got the ride-on mower. I really enjoy riding the ride-on mower, listening to my my iPhone, not my iPhone, my phone, like listening to either podcasts, or usually I can't listen to YouTube stuff when I'm on the iPhone. It's not really loud enough because the bloody ride-on is so bloody heavy and noisy. Sorry, I meant noisy. And I can't get my headphones loud enough sometimes to hear it properly. So I'm going to try these other headphones today, the ones I'm wearing now, and see whether that makes any difference. But it's funny because I'm not only house sitting, but I'm also kind of dog sitting as well. So my sister's got 2 Shar-Peis, and they obviously miss their family. And with having someone familiar here, we thought that was a good idea. So, mixing it up between me and the mother and my sister's mother-in-law. So anyway, I decided to do this live, and it's not going to be a 2-3 hour live or anything like that today. On the odd weekends that I don't do my normal live, it's just going to be, hopefully keep it to around an hour. And I don't know, I thought to myself, okay, so this is not an issue. This is a subject that has come up ever since basically I left Jamie's Making Lemonade's live channel when she was in fact streaming back in, I can't remember when the last time she was streaming, but and anyone who knows me knows that, like, we had this like small falling out. So, and there was a few people, that wanted to you can, fix that, Casper, or you can I'll go and explain, blah, blah, blah. Lots of things, lots of assumptions were made, and some assumptions were definitely clearly wrong. And, but at the time, it kind of felt like it was just sort of kind of my turn, because little did I know, well, actually, no, that's not true. I did know that people had come and gone before, and I probably was just another person that it was, had a falling out of one kind or the other. And it was quite ridiculous, actually, the way it happened. Quite funny when I look back on it now, but obviously I didn't think it was that funny at the time. And what I decided to do was, first of all, I want to make it clear, like, I've reached out to Jamie and asked if she wanted to come up and talk a little bit later on in the story, and I think she will. She has the link when she wants to use it, when she feels probably it's time maybe to come up and have a chat. And there's lots of people that probably have a smile on their face, and lots of people that probably have a frown on their face. So, bump under the bus. Yeah, don't get me started with under the bus. That was funny. And that's the sort of thing I do like doing. That's the kind of banter and the stuff that actually was quite funny. I think even Jamie will admit to that she thought that she probably thought that was really funny. But I wanted to give a little bit of history, of where I came from, because Jamie's was Making Lemonade was the very first basically live channel that I joined. I mean, I've been on YouTube since, I think, some ridiculous year like 2007 or 2009, but I was never in any lives or anything. All I ever did was back in the day when the YouTube, you basically was really easy to get monetized, and I used to just like trend and post and repost and all popular stuff, and a couple of my videos went crazy. It was mainly stuff about Artie Lang, because this all ties up with basically being like a Howard Stern fan. So, so it goes back to how far back should I go? So basically, it all started at Howard Stern. Benji was going out with Elisa Jordana. Elisa Jordana then goes and does a Spreecast podcast. I joined that. I started meeting all different people there. People like Brian Peterson, the Brain, who Robin was talking about in one of her lives the other day. Kleenex even went on Robin's live the other day, which I really didn't expect that. People like that, and lots of other people. And after this is just telling the story in a quick nutshell, so I could get on to the Making Lemonade stuff, is that when Elisa decided to, well, I think Spreecast was shutting down, or whether she decided to end it or whatever. I mean, there was all sorts of crazy things going on there in her spreecast and branching off that spreecast, you know, characters branching out and being funny. Very similar to how you have a lot of YouTube characters, right? So, you know, like your people like maybe Ben Ashworth, maybe who could be one. You know, FOD, you know, you have all these, like, I don't know, characters, people that are interesting, you know, sometimes good, sometimes in a good way, and sometimes maybe not in a good way. And there's some shitty people out there as well, as everybody knows. So what I found interesting was, so after Lisa Jordana shut her Spreecast show down, there was all these people, and I was one of them, that we were all like talking to each other, and everybody said, like, well, where are we going to go now? Like, where can we all hang out? So we hung out in various platforms that were available, like free platforms. One of them was Rabbit. I don't know if anyone ever heard of Rabbit, but it was, again, you know, you would start a, you know, live, and then everybody would jump in, and you can have, like, I don't know, in Rabbit, you could have like 30 people or some bullshit like that. So, and we had quite a big community, and it was a mixture of boys and girls. And anyway, back when Elisa was doing her show, if I just go back a little step and just to bring someone else in, people were doing, like, you know, similar to what Kenny does, like before shows, or well, actually they were after shows, you know, like how he does he does pre-shows too, but he also does after shows. That kind of thing was happening back in that community. So Elisa would do a podcast, and then someone would do like an after show or something, and various people were doing various after shows. Anyway, I was hanging around with a guy called Vashia, and he was doing a show, and then he was sort of started a show on behalf of Robin. It was called, I think at the time it was called Robin's Place. So it was Robin from Podtrash. So yeah, and I see Robin now. I see Robin now hanging around in this community. You know, whatever you want to call it. Probably insulting to call it true crime, right? So we'll just call it crime or whatever we call it. Sorry, I forgot to shout out to Cass, Becky, Boo, Andy, Dee Dee. Did I miss anybody? I think What the Fuck Guy was there earlier. Vinvader was listening. Cass, yes, got ya. Have I got Muds today? Oh, yes, I do. Okay, cool. I got Becky. I got Andy. Yeah, okay, it's cool. Just checking. Sorry, because I don't have as many screens as I usually have, so I haven't got as much stuff open. Yeah, Blab. Yeah, it was the Blab people. Yeah, that was another thing. It was Blab, and then Blab shut down. Blab was really good, and then Blab shut down, and then I think we went to Rabbit, and then after Rabbit, I don't know. I don't even remember. There was a few. So yeah. Anyway, Robin was part of that. Yeah, Robin done some fucking hilarious things. I actually want to get on a live with Robin and Andy. I've done a live with Andy before when we talked about Jimmer, and I would love to jump on and talk about some of the crazy things that we used to see. There is still the Spreecast videos are still out there. There is still stuff out there. I've actually got a lot of it downloaded that I wanted to sort of like watch it and maybe do some chats on it, but I haven't had a chance really to catch up with any of it. But I downloaded some of it, and I can't remember the channels that are involved. But if anyone's interested to see some of that earlier stuff, I could probably find a few episodes. And Robin actually done something really funny. Robin was actually, I think at some stage, kind of fighting with her name was Ivy Superstar. I don't know. And she was really strange. I don't really know what Ivy used to do. I don't know if she was an actor or something. I'm not quite sure. But Ivy Superstar, I think Benji used to actually date Ivy Superstar at some point in time. And Benji also dated another friend of mine that I have that lives in New York, and Sheila. And then, yeah, went on to Elisa, and who knows what either of them are really doing these days. I certainly don't know what they're up to these days. So, yeah, and then, so I start watching YouTube, okay? And this is just after that, and, you know, the community was a little bit shitty. People were getting attacked, and people were turning on each other and stuff like that, and it was going, oh, this is fucked, you know? And what happened was I got caught up with a little bullshit where, like we were doing like people were doing lives, right? And they were entertaining lives, right? So I started recording them because people were saying like, "Oh, I missed the live. Can I watch a replay?" No. So what I would do is I would record them and not really watch them. I would be doing something else, and then I'd post them, and I was getting people saying like, "Oh, thank you so much for posting the live. I missed this today. Kleenex is funny," or brain. But then you got the other side, right, where people were saying, "Fuck, why are you recording this? He records everything." So I basically just said to everyone, "Look, very sorry, I'm not recording any more lives because you get too much shit for it." So I just stopped recording the lives and stopped posting the lives. So I started watching YouTube, and anyway, I started watching. Don't ask me why. It just came up probably on my suggested list or something like that. It came up. Jim and Hen was doing the Howard TV commentary videos, right? And I fucking loved Howard TV. The funniest shit I ever seen. Being an Aussie, right? You don't get that shit here. You just don't get away with that shit. That uncensored radio was, well, uncensored radio and video obviously were doing, right? So they were doing, things like waxing Richard Christie's balls and all sorts of crazy things. How much freaking M&Ms can Sal get in his foreskin? And like, this is all like on video, right? And then the one with Iron Sheik, anal ring toss where freaking Artie was the lord of the anal ring toss, and the Iron Sheik and Bubba were trying to beat him. The shit like that. That was just fucking so hilarious. So anyway, so I started watching this little Asian guy, and he's doing commentary on Howard TV videos, and he was very good. His presentation was good. His video skills were very good, and he had a good voice, and he's quite funny. And I started watching him, and he's kind of watching me evolve, and then he got told to stop doing that shit. He got kicked. And he started other things, and he started to do other things. Then he started doing these nightly lives where I sort of met these other characters, and I didn't really go in. I didn't go into the live. Don't get me wrong. I was never on his lives. I was just a backseat chatter, so to speak, in the chat. And I was like listening to him, and I met, I started to met Matthew Weaver and a few other guys there, and girls. Some of them I still see around. Kenny was around then, and Jennifer, I think I remember, and there was Hero and all that. So there's quite a lot of people. I don't know what names they went under back then, but what I thought was interesting was, and then there was some fucking shitty stuff, and then he kind of cracked his shits, and he started turning on people that were supporting him, and I mean, like I was telling what the fuck guy, I got to a point where he was at the time the most entertaining person I was watching on fucking YouTube. I was actually looking forward to his lives he was doing almost every night at one stage, and I even joined his fucking Patreon for a very, very short time, matter of days. And then the same with a Discord. I think there was multiple Discords. There was, and he had on cam girls, and I really liked Jessica Jade. I still talk to Jessica Jade on Twitter sometimes, and there was Tara's bum, and there was that other one. What was that other one that he doxed or whatever? I can't remember her name, but there was quite a few nice people going on there, and then he would he would just flip and change, and as time went on, I start hearing some shitty things about him, and then there was this Gonzo. I think Andy was breached on this subject in Robin's live. I think it was a couple of days ago. I was watching the rest of it this morning. Where he started talking about Gonzo podcasts and all that, and then Jimmer helped them, and it was there was a guy called Serial Killer Jack who basically funded it all, and that's where Brian Peterson comes back into it. He was helping Serial Killer Jack with that, and they were going to do this, and they were gonna like get Jimin to do a show or something, and then they had some sort of big falling out, and then that guy that was running Gonzo Podcasts, he ended up being as freaking dodgy as fucking anyone you want to see. And he ended up, I heard, going to prison for some other, not related to Gonzo Podcast, but he went to prison because he was a bad person. He'd been swindling people out of money or something. Can't remember his name now. Jeff Hansen or something like that. And sort of like Jim, and then Jimmer was fighting with those guys. I remember one time where Jimmer had a cease and desist or something. He was wiping his ass with it on the camera on the screen because. Yeah, I thought that was funny, and they were just pulling out all the stops and those docs and going on this, that, blah, 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 And then I heard stories that Jimmy was doing his own docs and on his own counter across the screen. I really don't know 100% myself what was real, what wasn't real. But people were making donations in the name of his children or something, and I mean, he wouldn't put that up. I mean, obviously, it had to be him, right? Because he wouldn't put that up on his counter. I wouldn't think so, anyway. So anyway, just jumping forward. So then, some time went past. I think Jimmer disappeared because he rebrands himself every 6 months or so. He's done it like 3 times. He's about due for a return. So. I know this is going to sound weird how it happened, but I decided that one night, like I think it might have been after soccer or something like that, I had to take a long bath to ease my aching pains and my aching bones. So I jumped in the shower and I jumped in the bath, and I always take my iPad into the bathroom so that I can listen or watch something while I'm soaking in the tub. I don't know if that's what you guys do, but it's pretty cool. I need to get myself a spa because my bath ain't big enough. So believe it or not, I come upon this live, and how it came up, I have no idea, right? I click on there, and it's I believe it was a Making Lemonade panel, I think. And I started hearing familiar voices. I started to hear Jimmer, and I was just going like, wow, I've seen that guy around for a while. So I started listening to this guy, and then the next minute, that's the one where Helen comes up, and that's the one I think where Jamie says, Helen's got a nice disposition or whatever. That was the one that I stumbled upon, and I started. So obviously I subbed, to Jamie at the time, and that's basically how I started coming across into Jamie's chat. I started to, and that's when there started to be this war's a bit of a strong word to use, but there started to be this fight between Jamie and stuff, and that's how basically I met everybody, because everyone was coming into Jamie's stream. So yeah, and it got very, very it got very crazy there, and I couldn't pinpoint exact sort of incidents that happened along the way, but I remember what Jumanan was like, and so does Andy. And I remembered what he did to his friends. I remembered what he used to do. I mean, I've got some of the videos. So yeah, me and Cass were at the same time. Okay. So yeah, I remember it. I remember it very well. I just don't remember all the fine details and about all the different lives, but there would be shit flying around, and I believe shit was flying around on Twitter. People were using all sorts of different alts, and they were all fucking each other up, and then they'd go live, and then they'd fucking fight on the live. And I remember one particular live where Serial Killer Jack confronted Jimmer about certain things, and yeah, I mean, it sounded like Jimmer helped them with some technical stuff, and then I don't know if they paid him or whether they said they were going to pay him, and then they were going to offer him a show. And I think where they got offside was that when Gonzo Podcasts were going to do their different types of lives, and they were getting together all different types of people, like I don't know, D celebrities, maybe. I don't know what you call them over there. It's like D celebrities or something. Like I couldn't remember some of the names, but there were people that I didn't really know. There was one, Andy Dick was one guy that I had heard of. But there was others that I didn't really know. They were just show people that had done kids that had done shows or something like in the past, maybe that they were just sort of minor celebrities or something. So they had like this whole list of things that people that they were going to do. And what happened was Jimmer would be going off doing his own thing, and he'd go live the same time as what Gonzo Podcast were doing their stuff, and that really got under their skin, from what I believe. And they started bluing that way too. So so he was fighting with them. And anyway, so I'm in Jamie's chat, right? So we jump forward to me being in Jamie's chat, right? Now, this is the part actually that Jamie would probably come up and listen to if she wanted to. That's the part. Okay, so I'd never been on anyone's channel before, right? And for me, it was a bit like, oh wow, this is fucking interesting. Like, it's easily to get hooked into some of these channels and some of the stuff, because I truly think everyone does like a little bit of drama, especially like watching stuff and commenting and stuff like that. And it was interesting, and Jamie was going live, I think, almost pretty much nightly. Now, the thing that attracted me, obviously, to Jamie's channel was the fact that the timeline fitted perfect to sort of like my time difference. Now, Jamie would go live in, I don't know, freaking middle of the night, I guess, for her. She would, kids had gone to bed or whatever. And then she obviously had been developing a channel for a long time, because I did have a squiz through some of her older videos where she'd done road trips and she'd done videos with kids. And there was one in particular I felt very strongly about when I saw the child with that needs the insulin stuff. So yeah, there was some interesting videos there, but I really didn't like, when I went on to Jamie's lives, I did not know anything that had happened beforehand when I first originally went in there. Like, little did I know that I had a heap of Aussie people that had pretty much, come and gone, and they've all got their own stories and stuff like that. And I didn't know that they were sitting in the background saying like, fucking, who's this Aussie fucking idiot? Like, who's this guy? Like, where did this guy come from? Well, you know where I came from now. It's all very innocent how I came about it all. So let me just go back here. Am I missing like heaps of chat? Oh yeah, okay, cool, no problem. So yeah, let me just see. So, okay. All right. Sorry. God, it sucks not having three screens. I'm so used to three big. So 1, 2, yeah, 3 screens. So I made lots of friends. I mean, yeah, online friends. Call it what you want, but and it was very special. And I have to admit this. I have to be completely honest. It was the first channel that I'd ever been on lives, and it was the first channel that I was ever given a wrench. And yes, I saw a lot of fuckery in the chat, but at that time I didn't know what having a wrench meant. I didn't know what privileges you could actually see once you had the wrench. Fix the alarm. What alarm? Oh, are you hearing a beep in the background every now and then? There's a story with that. Is that what you're talking about, Cass? That there's a beep in the background every now and then? Because I can actually tell you what that is. And yes, I've been yelling at my sister about it, if that's what you're referring to. But I'm not sure. I figured that must be. I can't see what else it would be. So I started to get to know Jamie, and I think probably I was emailing her. I made her an intro. Yes, fire alarm beep. Okay, so what it is, I'll just digress for a second to explain that beeping noise. Um, it is basically part of the fire alarm system for the house, and something is not. It's a good one. That's a good one. Um, it's something wrong with the fucking thing, right? And it beeps at all weird times. And I said to my, and it's been going on for a long time, but I mean, I don't come out to my sister house that often, right? So I don't live here, so it never really obviously didn't bother me. But yeah, it beeps, and I said to, and there was one that was going off or something, and my sister said she pulled it down and whatever, and I said, oh, well, it's obviously got something to do with the fire protection or something like that. So apparently she's getting an electrician to come out. I thought it was going to be this week, but probably not. I might remind her. Yes, it's annoying, and I'm kind of used to it. I actually did quieten down the house as much as I could before I did the live. Hey, Deborah, nice to see you. I've closed the door. I've got the fish tank filters underwater, so that it didn't sound like I was sitting in an aquarium. The fans are turned down. The dogs are outside. I shut the doors, otherwise they'll come wandering in, and you'll probably hear them. So yeah, I've got the place as quiet as I possibly can, like I do when I do my live. So I hope it sounds okay. I didn't actually ask you guys whether it was sounded okay, because I can probably turn it up. Okay, getting back to Jamie's. I've sent Jamie a message just now to say that if she wants to come up, she's welcome to. But I haven't heard back from her. I'm even scared that my whole live is working well, considering my sister's internet is pretty crappy. They're so far, obviously, from wherever the connection box needs to be. They're so far that the internet is not good and the speed is pathetic. But so far, so good. This is the second live. The first one didn't work out too bad. So yeah, good. Good to see you, Deborah. I haven't seen you for a while. I bet you the fucking Gold Coast is beautiful today. Yesterday was really warm too. Yesterday would have been a gorgeous day for a swim, because it's spring here now. So I don't know what the water temperatures are like, but it's getting closer and closer to swimming weather again. Oh. So for me, it was really like oh, it sounds good. Excellent to hear. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading the StreamYard's chat, and I think it's a bit slower than the YouTube. So, you notice Nightbot's not working anymore, and I logged in and everything, and Nightbot's just abandoning me. I need to find out why it's not working. So, when I went on to Jamie's, the reason why I went to Jamie's, okay, let's talk about the reason why I went to Jamie's was because I heard that there was this little Asian man called Jimanan that was going after Jamie, and I came over because I knew about Jimmer, and while I didn't know what circumstances were and what was going on exactly, because even though someone's a bit of a shithead, it might not necessarily mean that they're particularly wrong in that particular instance. So I thought I'd come over and check out what's going on. And I basically just stayed there because she was, once I started following Jamie, she was streaming at times that was perfect for me. Like I would leave home and see that Jamie had a live scheduled in an hour. And I was like, beautiful. Drive home, have a shower, lay down, have a rest. A lot of time I used to lay down and listen, and then I'd have dinner. And sometimes Jamie's lives would go on for a while and that sort of thing. And that's pretty much how it came about. And I mean, I have to admit that no, not resign. Once a raise and said days off. I know you meant to write bot, not, but I know what you meant. Yeah, I haven't seen my Nightbot for a while, and I logged in and linked it to my YouTube account. Oh, hang on. I need to check my messages. Oh, okay. So Jamie's got some things to deal with, but she's going to try to come. So it depends how long I have it going for. So it was a big deal, like for me at the time, being my first live. And for half of the time I was there, and it was, and I know it was only 10 weeks. I didn't like, trust me, I was warned by many people, and that I wouldn't, that the going rate was 3 months, that you would only last 3 months, and then you'll be recycled. And I don't know, maybe Jamie has got some regrets with, people that she's dealt with in the past. I'm not really sure. If she was here, I'm sure she'd answer it, because I probably should have said from the start that this wasn't going to be like any type of bash feast or anything like that, or a dragon. No. This was just my story of when of how it went down with Jamie and the Making Lemonade channel. And I'm probably, there's not much point going on about. Well, I can talk about the incident that happened, which I've already done that on Neri's live that time. At least once, if not twice. I've been on Neri's at least twice. I remember at least the first time was the time I made my statement on what actually happened and how people got things mixed up. But the most difficult part is that everybody gets on people like about the friends by association thing, which sucks. And I can give you guys some examples. So, for instance, when the incident happened with Jamie and Ben and all that, I can quickly recap it because it's been a while since I spoke about it. But basically, it was just a normal live, right? Now, sorry, before Jamie went live this night, I jumped over into this Ben Ashworth, right? I didn't really know a lot about Ben, but I knew that this Ben had an interest in Marianne in Hello Starlight, and I was friends with Hello Starlight, but again, I didn't really know her that well at that point in time. So I jump over to Ben, and I see Ben is. Had a lot that particular day. Ben had a lot of issues with. I think he had modded like fucking every woman that goes in his chat, right? And every woman that goes in his chat, there's some people that probably genuinely care about the guy, want to make sure he's okay, want to make sure he's not being taken advantage of, etc., etc. And he was twisted. He was being twisted about, like, they were fighting and he didn't know what to do about certain things and this and that, and he was threatening to shut his channel down. Okay, I didn't know at that time that Ben does that sort of thing all the time, but it's like, oh shit, oh okay. Anyway, I watched it for a while and I sort of like thought like, oh fuck, Ben's really going through some shit here. But Jamie was going live, so I had to jump over and jump into there because I think at that stage I was a moderator. Yeah, I was a moderator. So, which I'm not sure if Jamie's listening, was a really big deal. Like, was a very, I took that as like an honor. I didn't know about wrenches. And I know that wrenches can sometimes often be thrown around. Some people, make everyone a wrench so that no one can fuck with anyone. And I understand it. I'm a little bit particular. Like wrenches to me, just to me personally, like giving them, it means something to me. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have to mean like, oh, you're my friend or anything like that. It means that I know you and I think you're good at it. Or you understand me to protect my lives type thing. It means something to me, but I understand with others, it doesn't. Like, it's not, it just, yeah, you give your enemy a wrench sometimes, like just to cause problems. Like, I understand wrenches can be just totally misused and used in weird ways. So, I mean, I think my friend Robbie even... he had a problem with wrenches in the past, and he's tried a few different ways, and one of his ways is wrenching on each live. Yeah, whoever comes in, if you know them and they can help you, help you with your chat, you give him a wrench for that live, and then he takes all the wrenches away afterwards, or he takes them all away before he starts another live, whatever. But probably better to take them off after the lives, because people then found ways to screw with you by going into old lives and hiding people. And for some creator that's maybe not checking their list every day or every time they go live, they wonder where their people went. I think it got done. Was it Jamie that it got done to? I got hidden. I've been hidden a couple of times, and people have realized the fuckery and had to fix it. So yeah, it's not fun. I haven't had any rogue mods with my channel. Not giving anyone any ideas. All right. I will show you the way. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. Autocorrect, yes. I will show you the way. Andy, are you still wooing the girls? I thought it was funny. Andy was talking about it was in Robin's live where Cass said something like, "Oh, I remember when Andy used to be sweet to Starlight or something," but I don't know if Cass knows, but Andy and I were like competing who could like give Starlight the most compliments at one point in time, and then we'd be like warning each other, "Listen, Andy, leave my Starlight alone," and then Andy'd go into some other chat and say the same thing. Great, Casper's not here. I can have Starlight to myself. So yeah, it was really it was like a game there for a while. I don't even know if Marianne knew what the fuck we were doing, but it was funny, and we laugh about it afterwards. So, but I think, yeah, you got to be careful, Andy, because 180, like, he chopped my balls off. I went into one of Marianne's live once, and so Mary and I had a personal joke about hot dogs going, and when I mentioned something, I got timed out. He timed me out, man. He's like very protective of her. Anyway, it's all good. I think I was talking about, like, the friends by association thing. It's very fucking difficult because there's some people just feel like they won't trust you, or if you're friends with someone they don't like. There's so much of that shit going on. And I've lost like friends over it, and I'm sure it's happened to everybody. So, I've lost friends. I've lost people out of my Discord because of things that other friends have said. Now, I'm friends with everybody, and I'd like to think that I can leave it like that, but it's so sad that in some instances, like, people just won't go to lives. People won't go to lives now because of other people and all that sort of stuff, and it's just like, just makes you want to quit YouTube, doesn't it? Like, I mean, I started in the stands, guys, and sometimes I wish I just go back to the stands, just open up my phone or my iPad when I want to and listen to some live and not chat, just listen. You never know I was there. Maybe leave a like button or a dislike button or whatever, push on that. That way, that's what some people do. You're never known to some people. All they do is watch, and that's what I used to do a long time ago, just watch. It's not so bad. The more you get involved, the more rubbish you have to put up with. Cass is lucky. I said Cass a few weeks ago that I thought Cass was very lucky. I love the way she can just cruise around different streams. I've seen it, like, because I've sat in the stands and I've watched, and she can just cruise around, and she can come in mine, she can go in an RDA related stream, she can go into another stream, and there's no repercussions because she's not a creator. She doesn't voice her opinions maybe that strongly, so she can, you can just cruise around. I mean, I miss those days where I could just cruise around. Are we supposed to share that Pedro news? Yeah. I like one day Andy was he was on his Pedro, or let's just say Pedro was up. Let me reword that. Pedro was up, and then Pedro left, and then Andy comes in. He goes, "Oh, long time no see," or something like that. Feels that was funny. That was a funny little joke. Anyway, so let's go back to the Making Lemonade, because that is the premise of the story today. And so I'm over there talking in Ben's. I don't know if I was talking in there, actually. I might have commented or something. I might have said, take it easy, Ben, something like that. Anyway, so I left with all that in my mind, that he was having massive problems. He was threatening. He didn't know what to do. The poor guy was fucking, out of his mind, sort of thing. Anyway, I go over to Jamie. I go over to Jamie's lives, and the live of that night, it was a normal live. I don't remember what it was. I think, hang on. I think if I remember correctly, I wish Jamie was here to tell me. Oh yeah, sorry, I'll answer the chat in a sec. Yeah. See, I get distracted very easily, and I go down a fucking different rabbit hole. So I'm trying to keep my train of thought in a straight line on the Making Lemonade. So with that in mind, Ben comes into the chat, and he says, "Hey, Jamie," or something. And Jamie was busy talking. I think it was with Solange. I think Solange was up at that stage, when Solange used to be part of Jamie's channel back in the day. I think it was Solange. I could be wrong, but I think it was. And Ben started going off in the chat saying, like, "Oh, I'm just coming by to say bye, and I'm shutting everything down." And I saw it, because I was obviously, being a moderator, I was moderating the chat, and I saw it. And so then I started asking Jamie whether or not she wanted to talk to Ben, because you say what you want, but Jamie had like a nice smoothing voice. I know some guys and girls don't like it, and I know some people that do a very good impersonation of it too. But in saying that, at the time, that's how I felt at the time, was that Jamie knew Ben. Jamie might be able to help Ben with his channel, because he obviously was in some kind of losing it that night. He was losing his shit. So I couldn't get hold of Jamie, so I'd send her. I think I said something in the chat, but she wasn't reading the chat. I think I may have Discorded maybe, and an email maybe, trying to get her attention. Now I didn't realize, like later on, Jamie was saying like, "Oh, Casper wouldn't stop. He was doing this and that." I just simply was trying to get her attention, because we didn't have a system. We didn't have a system where the mods could just easily get hold of Jamie and ask her something, maybe during a live, like, is this person all right? What do you want to do with this person? We didn't have that. Like, outside of the live, there wasn't much communication going on. We didn't have a mod chat or anything like that. So I know with my mods, I can pretty much chat them like Discord or something. So, and they can easily get me. I have every screen open. I have Hangouts open. I have Discord open. So I can be got hold of quite easily during a live even. So Jamie was very into the Solange conversation. I'm pretty sure it was Solange. I'm not 100% sure. I'm 99% sure it was Solange. Anyway, eventually she said, yeah, sure. And I even said to Ben, because I didn't know the relationship between everybody, so I even said to Ben, "I'll go up too with you, mate, if you want me to, and we'll see if Jamie can help you." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." Like, I don't think he really cared. And yeah, in hindsight, and I've said this before, if I knew Ben like I kind of know Ben now, I would never have bothered at all. I would never have bothered, because I didn't realize that Ben has opened and closed his channel multiple times since then. I didn't know that. At the time, I thought it was important. But, and in saying that, I knew that there was some issue. I knew there was some issue there with Starlight and Ben. But as far as I knew from Starlight, was that issue was dealt with, and there was no communication between the two, and everybody had just, they'd gone their own separate ways. Basically, I think it was just Marianne blocking him everywhere, and it seemed, and that seems to work. I mean, that's what that works for certain people. Then that's what they do. So we go up on panel and all that sort of stuff, and then Jamie goes down that path with Ben and Marianne, and I didn't want to do that, and so I basically I don't remember how we got off it or how we ended it, or whether he left, or whether I just said no, I'm not going there because Marianne's not here. I didn't know Marianne that well, but she was an online friend, and I wasn't going to do that. And that's the thing I wanted to talk to Jamie about tonight. But she's got some issues that she needs to sort out, so she's going to try to come here as soon as she can. So full on Pedro. So that's what happened. And after that, Jamie, I don't know whether it was just her own assumptions or whether she had some assistance from others. I was sharing mod duties with other people. I had what I thought I was pretty much friends with all the mods. I was friends with Soul. I was friends with Very Merry. They're two that I can remember. The other guy that ended up like dragging me on in the lives for months after this incident, I can't remember his name. Does anyone remember his name? He was called like Time Out or something. Was it Time Out? Something like that. I ended up seeing him over at Mummy Ramblings. So I don't know whether he just went in a different direction. I wanted to catch up with that fella because he wasn't particularly very nice. And I don't think he stood by Jamie anyway afterwards. I don't see him around anywhere. So, I had like my own friendships with these other people outside of Jamie's lives. I used to talk to, Time Out. Okay, it was Time Out. So I used to talk to Soul. I used to talk to Very Merry. Now, my generosity towards Jamie was pretty cool. I thought I had sent I had donated to her, and also Soul and I had contributed some money so Jamie could get a post office box or something at the time to get stuff sent to her or something. I don't know. I didn't really care what the money was used for. The bottom line is, I donated a few times, and for you guys to know, for me to donate money, it basically cost me double. So if I donate to Wendy, the slow adult, pretty much cost me double. 80% more, 75-80% more, because of the currency difference, right? So I think the only one that was one-on-one type thing or close to one-to-one was Canada, but I didn't have any creators in Canada. So yeah, the only people I think I've ever donated to, I've donated to Hello Starlight before as well, buy some hot dogs. So, it's not like, causing a muckery over there. I mean, if you're going to be paying your own money, if you're going to be paying money, I think it's a pretty good indication that you like the person, you like the creator, you like the channel. So I did show my receipts. And it's not about the money, it's just about the meaning. So yeah, when that incident happened, and then afterwards, she was contacting me, and the part that she's talked about on her live was accurate. I give Jamie that. It was accurate. It spoke about she was upset. Well, Jamie was upset that Marianne wasn't talking to her. Marianne wouldn't respond to her. And I think Jamie was also upset they wouldn't show my conversations that I was having with Marianne to her, because initially Marianne was very upset with me until she realized how it went down and what was said. And then she was like, oh, forget it. Like, I can see where you're coming from. And I can see that you didn't want to discuss it. And I went like, yeah, I didn't know it was going to go in that direction. And I didn't expect it. I wanted Jamie to woo Ben over with his channel problems and maybe help him, maybe give him some advice. That's it. It was only supposed to be about that. And anyway, it went down that direction, unfortunately. And then there was just a whole heap of misunderstandings afterwards. I didn't have any animosity towards anybody. And but Jamie was pretty, Jamie was being Jamie, let's put it that way. And I thought it wasn't I thought it was not necessary maybe to go the way she did, but I think maybe she was getting fueled by others, maybe. I don't know. And then I had all the Aussies coming to me, Caspar, we told you so. Yeah. And I said, like, okay, sorry. I didn't see that coming. It just happened. So, yeah, I met some friends that there as well, and I was in just after the Jamie Making Lemonade exit. I was with the Boomers for a little while, and then the whole fucking profile picture thing came up. We were trying to work out what was going on, and then some of the Aussie people were kind of blaming each other, and as it turns out, it was none of them, because I know exactly where the picture was obtained from and who did it, and I'm fine with it. I understand. I know the circumstances on how it was obtained and why it was obtained, and it went way back to people that were with Jimanan at the time, and Jimmer was also saying things to his inner circle about me even saying that I've been trolling him for years, where he couldn't be more wrong. Absolutely couldn't be more wrong. The only reason why Jimanan didn't like me and told fibs like that was the fact that he doesn't like anyone that's been around for the amount of time that I've been around. People like me, people like Andy, people like What the Fuck Guy, people that seen him do that shit that he's done in the past. He doesn't like. That's what he doesn't like. That's why he rebrands every 6 months and tries to get a new audience. That's why. Doesn't like those people that have been hanging around. The people like Weaver and even people like I think Helen DeKellar and the people like that, they all know Jimmer from before. They all know the type of shit he's done and what he's capable of. And yeah, he's not a very nice person. He had so much, but in saying that, he had so much shit done to him too. You know, people went after him. I never went after him. I just said he was a shitty person. I gave him fucking money for like 2 days and then I cancelled it. It was only fucking $5-10 a month or something. It was some Patreon fucking level. I don't know, first level, whatever. No big deal. So yeah, and then after that, I'm just gonna brush on the RDA thing. It's just, it's neither here or there, but everyone was like, couldn't believe what Jamie had done. Everyone was reaching out to me and was like, fuck me, Casper, man, what the fuck, and I'm going like, well, Jamie's got it wrong, Jamie went down the path she went down, and then her and Marianne have been at it ever since. And for my part, it's finished. It's over. It's just that however happened to happen. I actually started going back into Jamie's lives before she left. This was like months and months and months after the incident. I didn't go back, but I used to watch her lives in a watch party sometimes. Just depends on the time and what I was doing. And the thing is, though, I think Jamie can be funny, and Jamie can be like Jamie can draw a crowd, so to speak. Yeah, she probably says she says she's true crime and true drama or whatever, but more, probably 99% more drama, but I don't remember ever doing any true crime. And yeah, the whole Rostog and Jamie thing is between them. I really can't tell. I don't know. I don't understand it, and And I mean, Ross was using her, I guess, for some kind of entertainment. That's fine. Everybody has a bit of fun with each other, and I was guilty, and I've wrote to Jamie months ago, and I was guilty of jumping on the bandwagon. Everybody was like, making fun and saying things, and I'm just like anyone else, guilty of jumping on that bandwagon of stirring her up and that. But I never went back to her channel to fight with her. I never did any of that. I knew eventually I would talk to her again. I knew eventually I would. I thought, give it some time. It was kind of upsetting at the time. Now it doesn't bother me when people go on streams and say, oh yeah, that Casper and Doodle are pieces of shit. It doesn't bother me now. I could probably used to, but I think it's people that are just sadly misinformed about certain things. I've seen, I've had to walk away from some people because of conflicts of interest and stuff like that. And yeah, it's not great. It's not how I would have wanted it. But the thing is, you got to remember, everyone can't be hunky dory and friends with everyone. Otherwise, there probably wouldn't be any interest at all. And you need these people. You need entertainers. You need people to call people out. You need people to a certain point. You probably need people to even have a cracks at each other. You need all these characters on YouTube and stuff to make things interesting, I guess. When it happens to you personally and something happens to you and you just get upset about it. But yeah, it was so because of differences with other people and things that were said, whether untrue, of certain things, and I would have liked to explain things privately with certain people, but wasn't given the opportunity. So that's fine. I got booted from RDA one day, and then I heard since then a lot of my other friends have been booted from RDA as well, and it's all good and fine. It's something I'm not interested in anymore. I've moved on. Thanks. Some of the guys I'm fine with. Like there's some really nice people that others don't like, and I don't have an issue with. I find some of their stuff really funny. I love being entertained myself. My lives are boring. My lives are boring because I don't do the drama stuff. I mean, I might have a couple of times I had to speak out about certain things, and it felt uncomfortable having to do it, but I've got the channel to do it. Hey B, oh yes, okay, I can say Byron Bay because you've said it in the chat. Yes. Are you at the beach? Have you gone to the beach yet? Yes, you must be, because we're at the hottest point of the day, so you must be at the beach. Yeah, I don't know where Deborah's been. It's nice to see Deborah back here. The borders are open. Yeah, I heard they were opening. I'm trying to remember now. Weren't we open? Wasn't Queensland opening the borders? Was it just opening the borders to all of New South Wales, or was it just certain things? I can't remember. They're always changing shit. What about Trump getting fucking corona, eh? Fucking talk about fucking karma. Jesus. You don't want anyone to... And, the thing to worry about the president, the president of the free world, regardless of who it is that he has high blood pressure and he's overweight. So he's got like those, he's over 60 or whatever. So he's got complications that corona can fucking really go for. So I hope he's all right. I heard he's gone to hospital now, and he's working from the hospital presidential suite or something like that. Oh wow. Yeah, talking about the Sam Hill live, is that the Sam Hill girls? Are you talking about Sam Hill's live where finally Dana and Jamie confronted each other regarding the welfare check call that Dana did? Is that the live we're talking about? I found that very interesting, and I've actually listened to it twice because first time I didn't listen to all the way through. So I jumped on there because his lives go for too long, and I jumped on there. I scrolled till when Jamie came on, and I got to listen to both sides of the issue of the argument, and I could see it from both sides, and that's another thing I wanted to talk to Jamie about. It's a shame that she's not quite here. And it's fine. I will definitely Jamie will definitely come up another time when it suits her, when she doesn't have any issues that she's having tonight. I understood what Dana was saying. Is it Dana? I'm going to end up doing the same shit and I'll get in trouble. So Dana. I understood that she thought that she was doing what a friend should do. I kind of understand that, but there's this there's this war where you shouldn't take what's going online into real life. And I know a lot of people fucking do. And it's probably the lowest thing that you can do. And it's been done to me too. So if it hasn't been done to you, you're lucky. Deborah, you're lucky. B, you're lucky. That sort of thing. But I can understand. Oh, it's Dan. It's Dana. Dana. I always get it fucking wrong. And then she said something like, say banana, Dana. Not Dana, it's Dana, right? Anyway, you all know who I'm talking about. I haven't ever spoken to her. I don't think I've spoken to her. Oh, you left me a message? Oh, did you? Did you leave me a message in Discord? You left me a message? Did you? Oh, hang on. You left me a message as in a comment on one of my lives, maybe? I think I seen that one. Just can't remember what it was. But anyway, it's nice to have you back. So yeah, I understood it from her point of view, where she said that she was like doing like she cared for a friend. But I understand what Jamie was saying, and please don't be upset with me, guys. But I understand where Jamie was coming from also, where she says, yes, but you were getting duped by RDA to do it, this, that, and kind of maybe she was a little bit coached, maybe. And was Jamie being a little bit like maybe crazy a little bit, like as far as the drinking and carrying on with the, that she does. I mean, it's entertaining. Yeah. And the ripple effect that Jamie was explaining that happened is not nice, because it ended up having the I think it was the ex-husband involved, and he had the kids, and and Jamie saying that whenever a military person is involved, there's an investigation, and so as silly as it was, it may have caused some issues there. And Jamie obviously would like to probably keep her live streaming activities separate from her family life, that type of thing, or her extended family type of thing. I kind of get that. But I think she thought she was doing the right thing because she thought there was something wrong and Jamie might have needed some help or whatever. But that's the part I wanted to part of what I wanted to talk to Jamie about tonight. Well, that's the fucking bit that that's the bit that's sort of like pulling me in two directions. I understand that I'm not a fan either, but she was worried about her and she was being sort of coached on, and yeah, exactly. Do you just let people live or die? Like, do you just like, I'll give you an example. There was a stream that RDA did one night where producer Jay, who's a cool dude, producer Jay basically passed out and on his way down fucking took things out and smacked his head on the side of the table. And it was, I gotta admit, it was fucking hilarious to see, right? But I didn't fucking try to contact him or fucking call the cops to see whether, like, I think he passed out because he had drank too much. Now, does that mean we have to call the cops because he could have knocked himself out unconscious and died while he was asleep? No, the next day he said to us, I woke up, with something stuck to my face or a big mark on my face. And I caught it on video. I went back on the live. I think it was on Cosmics or something. And I went back on the live and actually like capped it, like that little bit, and put it in the Discord, in the RDA Discord, and everyone was fucking laughing. It was funny, right? But on a serious note, yeah, can something have happened? Yeah, it could have, possibly. So, I mean, Jamie's Jamie. That's what I wanted to talk to her tonight about. Jamie's Jamie. Jamie will schedule a live and reschedule it 5-6 times and piss everybody off. How many times has that happened? She doesn't seem worried about it. She's probably lost subscribers. People, look, people move on. I've noticed it. I don't get many people these days. I get a lot of replays views, like hundreds. But live wise, unless you're causing fucking a ruckus, causing big drama, people don't fucking care. They just go around and that's what they like. That's the community that you're in. So, I mean, a lot of my videos now are just talking about stuff so that my online friends that I know can watch it. I have somewhere to post it where they can watch it. Like, so I'm going to be doing like trips around them sister's property and stuff like that. So, I think it was the phone number. Dana didn't know any addresses, right? But I think she only had a phone number. So without Jamie here to answer the question, my assumption and my guess would be that the phone number that she had, that Jamie obviously had given her, yeah, I'm thinking I'm on the right track here, was registered in the husband's name. Maybe he paid the bill and it was in his name. Maybe that was a deal they had. I don't know. But when they looked up that phone number, the address, that's the address they went to. That address was the ex-husband's, as far as I know. But I would have to talk to Jamie about that. So yeah, I will only like repeat what I heard Jamie say on Sam's. And I'm assuming some of it, that's all. I could be completely wrong because as far as I know, Dana didn't have any actual addresses. And I don't know where Jamie is. I don't know if Jamie has her own apartment like before, whether she's at the parents' place now. I mean, we all saw her stream when she was doing the dancing, and Jamie's going to have a crack at me, the chair abuse, that I kind of thought was funny. And I thought it was funny. Like, for me, I just find it funny the headphones kept falling out all the time because it's must be hard to dance when you got headphones on that are only a certain length away from wherever they're plugged in. And you're trying to dance. Like, that's what the funny part that I saw. But, yeah, you don't know people's arrangements. You don't know people's things. You don't know people's deals. I've never been married, and I probably most likely never will be married. And I couldn't think of how difficult it must be dealing with exes and kids. I mean, some people have got more than one ex. Some people are dealing with like 2 exes and kids from both. I mean, I couldn't start to understand how difficult that must be to deal with. I don't think Dana has been around a lot of extremely drunk people and wouldn't have a clue that 98.9% alive are being extremely drunk. Yeah. Oh, yeah. People need some liquid courage when they come on. I've never done that. I've never been drunk on a live. Maybe I should. but yeah, I understand why Lemon is mad, but the fallout isn't Dana's fault, just being ignorant. Yeah, okay. So maybe like I think Jamie would have been probably fine. Excuse me. I have to get my water. I think Jamie probably would have been fine with it if she had gotten some kind of apology from Dana. But you can't apologize for what she did, but maybe apologize for what she didn't know was going to happen. Maybe I certainly it certainly caused problems for Jamie, and that's the reason why she hasn't live streamed. As far as what I could tell, what she said on Sam's. Again, she's not here to ask. Otherwise, I would ask her. She threatened to do a live stream a few times. I've been told, but it didn't happen. One time I did see that there was a live scheduled, but never happened. I do remember seeing that quite a few weeks ago. And she said something like about not being quite ready, blah, blah, blah. I don't know the approach. I think Jamie, I wanted to basically say I don't have any issues, and I understand the sort of person that she is, and she can be funny and entertaining, and she, if she feels like she needs to pull some bullshit up, she does. She's not always right, she's not always right, but she does what she does. I've seen some other women do some lives that are pretty out there as well. So, and also, can I mention that she had some mods that really cared about her, and whether or not they're friends to this day is a shame if they're not. But she had people that cared about her after I left. There were some people that weren't happy about how I left and that sort of thing, and I stayed friends with those people. I'm still friends with some of those people. But I understand that, like I said to those people, well, I'm out, you guys do what you can and try to help her. And yeah, I think she was a little bit stuck on certain things, I think she was stuck on the RDA thing and all that sort of stuff. Maybe went a little bit further than what it should have. Probably should have been cut off, months beforehand, and people egged it on and that sort of thing. And yeah. It's it's a easy because I agree with you. Okay, so yeah, that sort of thing happened, and it's a shame. But some of it was funny, and when I originally left, no, it was a while ago. It was only about let's say 2 months ago. I think I said to someone, I think I was talking to Doodle. Oh, sorry, I didn't address the Doodle thing. Sorry. Doodle was supposed to be here, but I think she fell asleep. And yeah, she's in trouble because she's supposed to be here because I share everything with Doodle. I share my Discord with Doodle. I share my channel with Doodle. And she wasn't going to come up on panel tonight because it was just going to be Jamie and I, but she was going to be in chat. And I did try to contact her beforehand, but I haven't heard from her. Oh, excuse me. I haven't heard from her probably 2 hours before I went live. So I got a funny feeling she went to sleep. And the funny thing, I decided to do these late lives on the odd week that I'm not doing the normal live. And she was like, thought it was a great idea, but it didn't really work out that well. Hey, Jackson Black. I see Jackson Black sometimes in chats. I think is it Sam's? I see you. I think Sam's. You're an anti RDA type person, right? I think I've seen you around. I know the name, but just not the person. Yeah, I think I've seen you in Sam's. Sam's interesting person. We all know how B feels about Sam Hill. That's when I won some money once. I won a shitload of money, and I was like it was like we were being funny as like Casper making dreams come true. And I put her in touch with Sam Hill. And I told Sam how much this person admired him, not hooking them up because fucking B's yeah, very funny, Vinvader. because B's like, happily married type. It wasn't that type of setup. It was just like an online type of setup. And yeah, I think they spoke whatever. And B goes over there. Yes, you are shy. Okay. So are you going to be sharing other things with your doodle? Yeah, I am going to be. Actually, to tell you the truth, we're both very pissed off with the world at the moment because we had things planned and they should have been happening around about now. And it's so funny. It would have been fucking absolutely perfect. It would have been perfect if Doodle had have been able to fly over and she could have actually lived here in my sister's house for 3 months and she could have looked after everything for 3 months. It wouldn't have stopped us all coming out and doing stuff, obviously, but she could have stayed here because I don't actually my house isn't huge. I mean, my sister's got 5 acres. She's got 3 bedrooms, granny flat, fucking you name it, she's got it. You can ride horses here if you want to, So this would have been perfect for her to come out. It would have been perfect for her to stay here, look, and do a bit of house sitting for 3 months. We know what people do when they come from overseas, do stuff like that. So I apologize for her not being. Oh, okay, cool. I wasn't sure, Jackson Black, if you had other alts or whatever, or whether you're just Jackson Black all the time. I've definitely seen your name around in some chats and stuff. I don't think you've ever been on panel though. I don't think so. So yeah, Doodle would have already been this is the month we would have she would have came out for like a short 2-week vacation, and I would have taken that time off because I've built up so much leave. Been doing nothing but working basically. So it isn't going to happen. Australia have started opening up an international bubble, but it's with New Zealand, and they're only flying to I think it was either Sydney or Darwin, I think, but it's a very small international bubble. So people can fly back and forth, but they're still quarantined on New Zealand's end, but not quarantined on Australia's end. And so we can't go down that road at all until they obviously open up international travel from the States. And the problem is that you have so many hotspots over there. Like Kentucky is pretty bad. Doodle's been showing me stuff about how many cases in Kentucky. So basically there's going to be so many hotspots. So basically I don't know how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen. And there's nothing that we can do about it. So, she can't come here until America get a fucking absolute great hold on it. And like Queensland won't let you come here. Like if you come from even a hotspot suburb for a while there when New South Wales borders were open, if they're not already open again. I think they're opening 1st of November or something. And they reckon that some of it's political because we got Queensland elections coming up now. Regardless of it, right? I know she's been tough, the Queensland Premier. I know she's been tough, right? But she's made life so easy for us. In Robin's live a couple of days ago, Kleenex got on there and said, oh, fucking Casper's on lockdown, all this and that. Nah, he's got it wrong. So I don't know, Kleenex, if you're listening or going to listen. Queensland have been probably one of the luckiest places in the fucking world to be because our Premier has been so tough. I can just pick up now and go to the club and stand next to someone and play a poker machine. Like I can stand at the bar. I can go to any bar and stand at the bar and drink beer. Like this, just I can go to any restaurant I want to. It's just like it's been so good for us, and it's been tough. New South Wales have done it tough. Melbourne have done it even tougher. But the funny thing is, the New South Wales Premier was so mean to the Queensland Premier, but as soon as Victoria got bad, that New South Wales Premier, she shut the borders quick as just like the Queensland one did. So. You have to, these premiers are trying to protect their state and protect their people and protect the whole thing from spreading, like trying to control it. And we've still got cases. We have cases every day in Queensland, guys. It's only a couple, but it only takes one. It only takes one to contact trace, and it will just spread like a forest fire. It's so hard to keep it under control. And I think some of our cases were people that had come back on a cruise or something, or they came on a boat or something like that. They may come on a tanker or something, But I honestly don't think, like, I can't complain. Like, that lockdown we had at that time where we weren't allowed to go anywhere. Oh my God. I felt like it was fucking Russia or something. It's just like, you are kidding me. Like, I was scared to drive down to the supermarket. I was so scared I was going to get pulled over and need to explain what I was doing. When they lifted a slight sanction on visiting people, where you're allowed to have one visitor or two visitors, I said to Kate, my friend, I'll come over, because her husband was in hospital because he had had a fall or something, and they were monitoring him. And I said, I'll come over, like, I can come over to your place, within the rules, have a coffee at your place. But at that time, the club was closed. We couldn't meet at the club. So I went to Kate's place that night, and I felt nervous. Like, even my mum said, oh, you haven't been anywhere, like, just working back? And I went like, yeah, I feel like I'm doing something wrong by getting in my car and going visiting a friend that only lives like 25 minutes away. And the funny thing is, when I drove to my friends that night, I went past like my normal work route, and I drove past work, and suddenly, right, these two cop cars with sirens blaring came up behind me. I shit my pants. I thought I was in deep shit. And I pulled over, and they just went past. They were obviously going to some emergency, but I was so fucking paranoid about it. And I got to Kate's, and I told her, and she was laughing. And anyway, I had coffee sat around and chatted for a couple of hours, and then I went home, and it was so nice to get out of the house. But now, like, for Queenslanders, there's fuck all restrictions. I think I saw the other day you can have 40 at a wedding now. And everything's like normal. Everything's, I mean, we're scared. Like, I still see people wearing masks. I still see people wearing masks going to the supermarket, for instance. Like, I don't really go to the supermarket much, and my mum's in high risk. I mean, if my mum caught corona, I think I'm going to lose her, because she's got high blood pressure. She's a smoker, and we all know how corona goes for the lungs. Apparently, it's fucking designed to smash your system as far as your lungs and stuff is concerned. So if you've got like fucking asthma or emphysema or what's it called, where the lungs have got holes in them from previous like asbestos damage and stuff, emphysema, something like that. Yeah, Deborah. Like, well, I'm Deborah. I'm a long way at the moment from the city. I can tell you that. If you Google, I'll just tell you a rough area rather than if you Google Woodford, have a look at where Woodford is. It's way out. Like I'm about how far am I from home? I'm about 35 minutes drive from my place, which is still another hour from the city or something like that. Oh, I've missed some stuff here. Okay, I remember talking about worry. Yes, not much difference here, but the biggest town near me is 45 minutes away and has a population of 5,000. Okay, and population in the town I mean is less than 1,000. Okay, but you could imagine if you had a couple of people, Cass, that had corona and even didn't know, and they came into your little town of 1,000. Man, that shit spreads like you wouldn't believe how quickly it can spread. And then the people that then they have to get a team in to work out about the contact tracing and work out how far does it go back, who does it go back, populate those to isolate those people. It's not good. It's not good. You have to control it, and even if it's about controlled infection, you still got to control it. Like there was a theory that it's going to go through. The strong are going to survive. Once you've had it, you're not going to get it again. I don't know if that's true or not. I hear it's unlikely, but not impossible. I'm hearing there's different strains of it running through. It's stronger in some countries than others. You know, I hear Brazil copped it up real bad. India copped it real bad. I hear the Australian strain isn't as strong. We're in spring, then we'll be in the summer. Apparently, it's not as potent in the summer. So, you know, I'm hearing all these things, but I've done a little bit of research in Johns Hopkins, but not a hell of a lot. So I'm hearing different things, you know. Trump says it's definitely man-made. I don't know. Is it designed to cull us down? Only the strong survive? I'm hearing some crazy conspiracy theory that it's designed to knock out the old ones, the ones that cost the government money. I know it sounds sad, right? Doesn't sound right. It sounds very sad. I'm hearing that it's to cull out the ones that are the burden on the system, which is cruel as fuck, right? That's what I'm hearing. I don't know how much truth to it. Anyway, I've already done this for half an hour longer than what I said I was going to do. I was only going to do a quick hour. And I was hoping that Jamie would join me. But I don't want to be saying, but she did have some issues that she had to attend to with the children. So, and she had the link. So if she was around, she would have just popped up into my StreamYards, and she hasn't done that. So probably gonna have to end this one, and because I have other things I need to do. I only have another 3 hours of sunlight, 3 hours or so of sunlight. So there's things I need to do outside that I want to get done. I've done a little bit of power washing, and I've done some washing and stuff like that. So there's a few things more I've got to get done. And I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. Not quite sure. But thank you for everybody for joining me and listening to my side of the story as far as what had happened. I will definitely have some more conversations with Jamie. We might even dedicate another live when she's definitely 100% free. But until then, we'll see what happens. So, all right, I'm going to hit my normal outro here. Yeah. I'm hoping everyone can hear it. I didn't remove my screen, so it should still be working. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming on, and thanks for anyone for listening to my replay. If you have any questions, please comment. Please subscribe. I'm hovering around 1.5K. Take care, everybody.
Exco, give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. Exco, deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop, stainless steel. Go hard, getting busy with it. And I got such a good heart that I make the motherfucker wonder if you did. Damn right, and I do it again.
Peace out.
I am like, so I got to win.
Until next week,
enemy.
we'll return to our regular scheduling.
When I break, you sending me. You motherfuckers never want to know what your life saved. Bitch, and that's on a light day. I'm getting down, like a nigga said freeze. But won't be the one ending up on his knee, bitch, please. But the only thing you can't steal was came out to play. Stay out my way, motherfucker. We gonna rock, then we gonna roll. Then we let it pop, don't let it go. X gon' give it to ya, we gon' give it to ya. X gon' give it to ya, we gon' give it to ya. First we gonna rock, then we gonna roll. Then we let it pop,
Pedro, let me know when you're doing a live with Robin. We'll talk about some old precast
They
stuff.
never gave nothing to me. Every time I turn around, cats got their heads out, wanting something from it. I ain't got it, so you can't get it. Let's leave it at that, cause I ain't with it. Hit it with full strength. I'm a jail nigga, so I face the world like a girl in the bullpen. You against me against you. Whatever, whenever, nigga, fuck you gon' do. I'm a wolf in sheep clothing. Only nigga that you know who can chill. Come back and get the streets open. I've been doing this for 19 years. Niggas wanna fight me, fight these kids. I put in work and it's all for the kids. But these cops done forgot what work is. They don't know who we be looking, but they don't know who they see. Niggas, we gonna rock, then we gonna fall, then we let it pop, don't let it go. X gon' give it to ya, we gon' give it to ya. X gon' give it to ya, we gon' give it to ya. First we gonna rock. Do we gonna fall? Do we let it pop? Don't let it go. Come on. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. Hey, yo, where my niggas at? I know I got them down in the game. Give them love and they give it back. Talk too much for too long. Don't give up, you're too strong. Love to the wild, wild hunters. Yeah. Shout out to niggas that done it. And it ain't even about the dough. It's about getting down for what you stand for, yo. For real. Do we gonna rock? Do we gonna fall? Do we let it pop? Don't let it go. Come on. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. Come on. We gonna rock? Do we gonna fall? Do we let it pop? Don't let it go.